Alrighty, guys. So, welcome to the second tropical weather update on Hurricane Agatha. Yes, I think it was around 8 a.m. this morning when Agatha strengthened into a hurricane. So, they have the key messages regarding Agatha up at the top. We'll get to that in a minute. But the header for Advisory 7A is Agatha continues to strengthen. Weather conditions expected to begin deteriorating in southern Mexico tonight. So let's jump into the advisory and see what we have. So there have been no changes with watches or warnings with this advisory. Still saying at hurricane warnings and tropical storm warnings. Interests elsewhere in southern Mexico should closely monitor the progress of Agatha, mostly because once it makes landfall tomorrow, this is expected to move into the Gulf of Mexico and potentially reform. We'll cover that later. But if you live in the hurricane or tropical storm warning area, you should rush to complete preparations. Because I'm going to talk about this later, but Agatha has the potential to be a major hurricane by the time it makes landfall sometime tomorrow. That's something we'll have to closely monitor here. So, the discussion and outlook here. The center of Hurricane Agatha was located near yada yada yada. Agatha is drifting toward the north near 2 miles per hour. A turn toward the northeast. Northeast is expected later today with a motion toward the northeast continuing through Monday night. Forecast track, the center of Agatha will approach the southern coast of Mexico later today and tonight and make landfall there on Monday. I'm assuming it'll probably be early Monday morning when it makes landfall. And if I am up, I will provide a video on Agatha when it makes landfall. So, Agatha has continued to strengthen. Maximum sustained winds have increased to near 90 miles per hour with higher gusts. Additional strengthening is expected during the next 12 to 24 hours. And Agatha is forecast to be near major hurricane strength when it reaches the coast of southern Mexico on Monday. So hurricane force winds extend outward up to 15 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 80 miles. Then the estimated minimum central pressure is 978 millibars or 28.88 inches of mercury. Hazards affecting land. I'm not going to go through all this because you all know this. Wind is going to be the big thing here. Wind and rain is going to be the big thing here, but we can't rule out the storm surge as well. So, if we take a look at the arrival times of winds here. The tropical storm force winds will begin around 8 a.m. tomorrow. Then, all of these times, by the way, are in Central Time. So, if you're like me and live on the East Coast, you add an hour. If you're on the Pacific Coast, you subtract an hour. But it seems like the most likely arrival time for winds in your area along the southern coast of Mexico will be tomorrow around 8 p.m. Central. So that's something to take a note of there if you live in those areas. So let's take a look at the key messages here. This is of the complete advisory number 7, which was issued 4 hours ago now. So dangerous coastal flooding from storm surge accompanied by large and destructive waves is expected near and east of where Agatha makes landfall. Second point that they have here is life-threatening hurricane force winds are expected in portions of the hurricane warning area in southern Mexico on Monday, with tropical storm conditions beginning there tonight or early Monday. Tropical storm conditions are expected in the tropical storm warning area on Monday. Excuse me there. Whew. And the third point that they have here is heavy rains associated with Agatha will develop over portions of southern Mexico later today and continue through Tuesday. This will pose a threat of potentially life-threatening flash flooding and mudslides here. And if you want more information on Agatha, you can go to hurricanes.gov, and that'll take you to all their information on Agatha. So now, what we will do is we will transition over to Tropical Tidbits. And I believe there is... Yes, the aircraft reconnaissance mission is in flight to Agatha now. So, oh, that is an eye and a half. Look at that. Well, Agatha has definitely got a tech together. Let's take a look at the visible high-res satellite here. That image, you can see an eye there. That is the eye of Hurricane Agatha here. That is now starting to pop its way through the eye wall, which has been covering it up. So that is very interesting to see that Agatha is now developing an eye here. So most models have it potentially hitting Category 3 status, and that is a major hurricane. Category 3 or higher is considered a major hurricane here. I don't know what the RI-35 or I-30 or the RI-25 is saying, because there's absolutely no way that it will reach Category 4. If it reaches Category 4, I will throw something. Not sure what, but if it reaches Category 4, I will throw something here. So that's something to note with that. Spray models here. This is the GPS tracks here. And most of them take Agatha into Mexico and then heading off into the Gulf of Mexico, potentially towards Texas and Louisiana. So that's something to note here. Here's the cone for Agatha as of the 11 a.m. advisory. They don't have a M on the cone. If you don't know what an M stands for, that's a major hurricane. The black circle and the H's that you see on your screen right now, that signifies hurricane. The S stands for tropical storm. And then the D stands for tropical depression. So, on the cone, it looks like Agatha should be making landfall around 8 p.m.-ish tomorrow night. All these times, by the way, are in Central, I believe. So that's something to note. Let's take a look at the water vapor here. And it does not look like Agatha is struggling here with any dry air. All that black that you see, that's all dry air. And it looks like Agatha doesn't have to deal with any dry air at the moment here. There's a little bit of dry air up to its north, but nothing that would interfere with it. The only thing that may interfere with it is that shear that you see up to the north of it. You see all those clouds moving from west to east? That's shear right there. And the main difference between tropical storms, tropical cyclones, I guess I should say, and severe weather is that severe weather loves having shear. Tropical systems don't like shear at all. So, that will be it for the video for the second tropical weather update, not outlook, of the year. I'll have another video out around this time in about 2 hours here for the 5 p.m. advisory number 8 on Hurricane Agatha. So yeah, until then, guys, peace out and stay weather aware if you live in the hurricane or tropical storm warning areas.